Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Our research-backed videos are engaging, easy to follow, and they help ease the daily challenges like agitation and anxiety so that you can focus on connection and joy. Available by subscription on mobile and TV apps, Zinnia makes every day a little bit easier. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
This is Medicare Moments, America's favorite Medicare podcast with America's favorite Medicare host, Toni King. Hi, Toni King.
How you doing, Jim? And that's because we're fun and we like to educate America on what's going on with Medicare.
Right. And the title of this one is What Life Insurance Plans Are Offered After Age 65. And that's an important number because, Toni, you've said many times, 10,000 people a day are turning 65 years old.
And a lot of them are not prepared or have life insurance.
So this comes from Eva, and she writes, Toni, recently you wrote an article explaining the hospice issues that you were experiencing regarding your mother. Please let your Toni Says Medicare column readers and Medicare Moments listeners know how hospice comforts the caregiver when a loved one passes. My mother's hospice case manager and social worker made sure that I knew exactly what to do for her final needs. I would have had to pay over $3,000 for cremation plus $7,000 to bury my mother's urn on top of my father's casket with a well-known funeral home in the Houston area, instead of the $995 arranged price with a funeral home that was on the hospice list. My mother passed away with no life insurance, and our family had to pay for all of the extra funeral cost out of pocket, which was over $10,000. My question is that I have recently turned 65, retired, and am without any life insurance. I do not want kids to go through what I experienced with my mother. Please explain which life policy I should consider when I'm 65 with high blood pressure. Thanks, Eva from Houston. Toni, what do you have to say?
What I can tell Eva is I can relate because I also went through what she went through. And when you pick a hospice company, search for one, interview 2 or 3. And it amazed me, the one I picked when my mother finally passed, which was 2 weeks ago, they helped me find a funeral home. And the cost was amazing as to what they had already worked out. So, you really need to take your time and don't worry about how things are going to go because your hospice company will help you. They will call you. They will check on you. And what's important is that they do have chaplains that can sit down with you and your family to make sure that you understand what's going on. When Eva emailed me, I could see that there was a situation because now she's realizing she doesn't have any life insurance. She's 65. What does she do? And people need to make sure they have something in place when they're 60, 65 to make sure that they make that transition because the older you get, the more expensive these plans are. It doesn't get cheaper. When you need it, it does not get cheaper.
No, it doesn't. In fact, it gets more expensive. We're going to explore that. Look at it right after this. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Zinnia offers research-backed videos intentionally created for people with dementia, engaging, calming, and easy to follow. Whether you need to ease agitation, create moments of joy, or make daily routines smoother, Zinnia is here to help. Family and professional caregivers use our content to turn challenges into opportunities for connection. Accessible by subscription on mobile devices and connected TVs, Zinnia is simple to use whenever you need it. Because when caregiving feels easier, life feels better. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
Medicare Moments is the podcast. Toni King is the host. We're talking about insurance, life insurance, when you are older than 65 or older, right, Toni?
I have people come to the office that are 70 and 80 years old and do not have any life insurance. They don't know what to do. So you've got to be prepared because it's not cheap.
It's not.
Okay?
It's not inexpensive, and you have to be reasonable about what you need to bury yourself, basically, and whatever other needs that you have, right? So as you say all the time, everyone is different. Medicare is not a one size fits all in some cases, and life insurance is not a one size fits all, right, Toni?
Correct. And technically, you have two different kind of life insurances when you're either turning 65 or even if you're under 65. One is term insurance. Now, term will only last for a certain amount of time. You can get a 10-year, 15-year, 20-year, or 30-year policy. Okay? And you buy one of these when you're healthy. Don't wait until you're insulin dependent diabetic and now you've had a stroke and you need to get some type of insurance because you may not qualify. If you get a term plan, especially if you're younger, 40, 50, maybe 60 years old, you can always convert it to a permanent policy at a later date. And you want to make sure that you do it before the policy is going to expire. And that's good, because you'll have something to use at the end of life if you need to bury yourself. Whole life is really what insurance is. That's the main insurance there is. And whole life is a permanent policy that has a death benefit, there are level premiums, and it has cash value. And you want to make sure you get with a decent company. And generally, the price does not go up. Depending on what your age is, you may have to choose a lower plan, lower death benefit to control the price. We want to make sure that it's in your budget. But you know what? If it's not in your budget, sit down with your kids and talk with them, because they may be able to help you. Because when my dad died, he died with no life insurance. We had nothing when he died. And I have experienced this. So you want to make sure you have something in place.
And then what is burial insurance, Toni?
Well, those are final expense plans, and those are little bitty, tiny whole life policies. And they do have health questions. They can help you with your end of life issues, the funeral, the burial, and even help to pick up if you got medical bills. Generally, a final expense plan ranges from $5,000 to $25,000, depending on which insurance company you're talking about. So those are the ones you see advertised on TV. They make you think that you're going to get a plan like immediately on TV. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But for people who have health issues and you need something, you're concerned, but you're in the middle of cancer, or maybe you're someone who's had a stroke, or you've got Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis, or whatever your situation is, you have what's called a guaranteed issue whole life policy. And for the first 2 years, you're only going to get the interest of the policy. So if you die, your family member will get back all the premium plus interest. After 2 years, the policy kicks in just like it was the day that you purchased it. There are no health questions. So that's important for people that have health issues. It's a guaranteed issue policy. You want to look into it. Make sure you get a good company that's been around for a while. And, there's a little variety. You just want to make sure that you meet the health and financial needs, and make sure that it helps your family and it meets your needs and it's in your budget. That's one thing that's very important.
And that can help you with expenses and help your family with expenses when that time comes, when it's needed. So
that's right.
Great tips from Toni King today on Medicare Moments.
And I've experienced all this. I have seen it. We purchased a policy for my mother after my dad died. And when she turned 80 or 85, it went from maybe $50 a month up to over 400 immediately. It was amazing. You want to make sure you get the right plan and you see it in writing. You know what's going on.
You may have a question about this or other questions concerning Medicare. You can call Toni's 24-hour-a-day Medicare hotline at 832-519-8664. 832-519-8664. Toni's new Confused About Medicare video series is available at tonisays.com. That's TONISAYS.com. Her books are available there as well. And you can email her, info@tonisays.com. That's info@tonisays.com. And she has a website that's chock full of great information for anyone. You can also reach out and talk to her, and she'll help you in any way possible. Right, Toni King?
But you forgot to tell them, I'm Toni with an I and not a Y, because I am a girl. So don't put my Y on there, put I's on there, right? TONISAYS.com.
Thanks for listening to Medicare Moments. Thanks for making us America's number 4. We're ranked number 4, Toni. Congratulations.
We're getting up there. We're playing hardball with the big boys.
We're getting up there. So
That's
thanks
right.
for me. Thanks for listening. And Toni, back to you.
I will see you later, Jim, and you go have fun.
Are you a senior looking for unbeatable benefits? Join AMAC today and enjoy discounts on insurance, travel, restaurants, and retail. Plus, get 6 issues of our award-winning AMAC magazine packed with trusted news and insights. AMAC stands strong in defending America's future, bringing the voices of over 2 million members to our elected officials. For a limited time, get a 1-year membership for just $1. Don't miss out. Join now at amac.us/join now. That's amac.us/join now.